everyone. We're going to continue this venture on making some preserves, and I have a couple of preserve ideas that I wish to share. And as I mentioned before, I did win a couple ribbons in the at the state fair, California State Fair, back in the early 2000s. It's been years, but I'm hoping that these little creative juices will come back, and I'll just show you some techniques, and technique's really important. So let me put on my apron and let's get started. The reason why I wear black aprons when I'm canning is because just in case stains, and so I put on these darker aprons, and I don't want to stain my pretty aprons, so that's why I wear my darker aprons. So okay, so I usually when I'm getting ready to do a canning, I do some studying, and I want to make sure that everything that I do is I just want to make sure that I'm doing all the techniques correct. And so I have my plums. I have my paring knife, my knife. I've already thoroughly washed these and rinsed them out, and I want to clean each plum. I think that's really important. Coating on it, you want to take that off. So after you wash them and you thoroughly rinse them, and so they're nice and shiny. And I have my pot that's heating up, because I want to make sure that my pot's going to be really nice and hot. These are going to take a while to cook, because I'm going to be making a plum butter. There's a difference between the the spread and the butter. A butter is thicker, whereas a spread is a little bit more loose. I'm almost sure that you use a little bit more sugar. As much as I so many ribbons that I won, and that I was awarded, well, not won, but awarded, I don't think you ever stop learning. I don't think you ever stop learning from canning. So, and I just want to make sure that so I'm always referring back to my book. You have to have at least one favorite book. Now these are picked, and freshly picked, and I might eat a couple. Ooh, that looks like a nice one to eat. Put that one aside. That one's nice. Somebody saw I picked these at a friend's house, and I shared, I was like, no! It's hard picking these, getting all that stuff in your hair, but it was fun. So, if you have someone who has a fruit tree and they need to harvest it, oh God, message me. So I like picking fresh fruit and harvesting it. I think it's nice. But it's a lot of work. It's a farm to table type of thing, and so have someone that you could barter with, and you could trade. By all means, do so. Now, a lot of these have ripened, and I'm going to keep the ones that are ripe, and I'm going to go around. See, I'll take the ripe ones, put them aside, and then what I'll do is I'll go around the ripe portion of it, and you know, keep, because you don't want it to mess up the flavor, but the real white ripe ones have a lot of sugar in them. Yeah. So you want to keep your really super ripe ones. Don't toss them. Use them. So I'm trying to find some really soft ones here. And that's a lot of plums. So you want to measure. You want to make sure you measure, because you don't want to put too much sugar in it, and you don't want to put too much. And usually these spreads and these butters don't have a lot of sugar, but they require an extensive amount of cooking. Like about an hour of cooking. You have to blend it, and then you have to put it through a sieve and make sure it's not metallic. I don't have a non-metallic sieve, but what I do is I use a cheesecloth, and I put the cheesecloth on the sieve that I do have, and I just kind of push it through there. After, of course, you know, it's blended and everything. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and measure these while I cut them up. I'm going to take my, you want to par, which means you have your scale. Make sure it's on the right one, ounces, pounds. And then it should be a 0. And then make sure your bowls are clean. Rinse that out. Okay, and then you take your bowl, and it says 0.322, and you just press that. Make sure that it's press the button on the left. Make sure it says 0 pounds on there. So that's called paring it. Okay, and so I'm just gonna, oops. Okay, and you just discard the seeds, right? I'm going to take where the bird chewed. So just kind of go around the bird part. And you want that, the skin. The skin is the part that's going to give you the color. So I'm going to take, it gets messy. So that's a ½ pound so far. These are really juicy. Sitting around watching TV all day is not good. So roll up your sleeves and get some fruit. Go get a few jars and do some canning, honey. Give them away as gifts. Oops. And so the rule of thumb for apple butter, which is what I'm going to be making, is, let's see, 1½ to 1 3/4 cups sugar for 1 pound of pulp. You get it as close to the seed as you can. As close to the seed as possible, right? Okay, that's almost 3 pounds. And then I'm not going to add the sugar, so I'm not going to add the sugar to this. Right? While I'm cooking it. I'm going to actually cook it without the sugar, and then I'm going to add the sugar. And I'm going to make sure that the sugar gets warm. Yeah, I have plenty. And so I'm figuring, like, I want to cook it. I want to cook it enough to take the fluids out. I mean, so that the fluids can evaporate a little bit. And I want to make a thick, buttery, like consistency. So I got, okay, 3.97 pounds. I think this little one will do the trick here. Alright. So I got a little over 4 pounds. Okay? So I'm going to put everything else aside. Put all these rest of these plums. So I think 4 pounds, that's going to come out to if you do pints, it's 4 pints, but half, and then plus your sugar, so it's going to increase in volume. So I'm just going to cut them up. I'm going to start putting them in there. So, in my butter, I thought, why not make it really warm and flavorful. And I thought, add some wine to it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a little bit of wine to this. And remember, we measure everything, right? Okay, so probably a cup of wine to that. Oh, that smells good. And this is, I'm using a Syrah Grenache. And this is a blend from France. So I may have to add a little bit more sugar than what it asked, right? So far I have 4 pounds of plum. And then be careful with your fingers. Okay. Okay, ta-da! You put all the juices in there. You let that baby cook and boil like that. Okay. Wooden spoon. Make sure you use a wooden spoon. Always use a wooden spoon. I'm gonna bring that up to a boil because you want it to boil for a very, very long time, and then I'm gonna reduce it and simmer it. And meantime, that's boiling, I'm thinking, mulled wine. Well, why not? Put mulled wine in there, right? Mulled wine? Yeah. Yeah. Mulled wine. Okay. So, I'm going to take my, we call it this right here. cheesecloth. Get a piece of that. I'm going to put a couple of cloves, and I'd say about a good 10 to 12 cloves should do it. Then I'm going to put about the same amount of peppercorns in there. I'm going to put a couple of these. I'm going to break these cinnamon sticks. And then I'm thinking, it smells so good. And I want to put orange in there, but I don't have any orange. But what I do have, I have a natural orange, oil. But I'm not going to put it in right just yet. I want to taste it though. And the reason why I want to taste it is because I want to see if there's going to be an aftertaste, because I certainly don't want that in. I'd rather not put it in. If it's going to give me an aftertaste, then I'm not going to put it in.